This is the Biz News Podcast, one-on-one conversations with experts in business and personal development.
When a drawer of Rolex watches doesn't make you feel whole, something ought to be done. And Mo Issa says he did it by making small changes to rediscover himself, embrace simplicity, and focus on a sense of deep fulfillment. Now he thinks those steps can help others. From Ghana, Mo Issa joins us for this episode of Bizgnus Interviews. Mo, you have been in charge of your own business now for a number of years. Would you tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about your business and how you got it started?
Okay. Hello, Doug. First of all, thank you very much for having me on your show. And let me give you a brief background of how I started my business. It was back in 1994, almost 30 years ago, or a bit more than 30 years now. And we are originally, I'm from Lebanon, Lebanese, but my father sort of immigrated in the 50s to Ghana, West Africa. Most Lebanese immigrate out of Lebanon to work in Africa, South America. So he had already started his business, and I was born in Ghana, lived most of my life here, but I studied in England for about 12, 15 years and came back to Ghana, set up my business. And the business is it's building materials, but specifically finishing products like bathrooms, tilings, floor coverings for homes that are coming up. Like I felt when we opened the business, there was a big demand for sort of high luxurious homes, and we catered for that market. And we have several agencies, famous agencies. We have Ideal Standard in sanitary ware, Hans Grohe in brass fittings and taps. We have kitchens from Italy. So these are the kind of things that we bring to customers in Ghana, West Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, and you built, as I understand it, you built that business to something highly, highly successful. And then you changed, there was something that changed in your life. Would you tell us about that?
Well, the thing is, nothing changed in my life. It's mainly changed in my head. I think that was the big factor. I was successful, like how we define success, basically money, status, and the symbols of money. And I made good money, but then a few things sort of came together. There was a issue with my company. I was facing bank issues, and they were forcing me sort of to foreclose, but I had to fight that. And at the same time, my nephew had a sort of near fatal accident, and that sort of woke me up a bit from this successful bubble. I'd always been, everything was going the right way for me, and these two things came together and made me question. And I deep down, I didn't know, but I wasn't very happy with all this. It's not that everybody is happy building the business, and you're happy you're seeing the progress. But I wasn't happy because the more money I was making, the more I was spending. You know, I was living lavishly. I wasn't really. It wasn't sort of really enjoying the life that I had. It was mainly sort of following the Joneses and comparing and competing with the others. So I reached a place where I said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I need to slow down and go inwards. And that's where my sort of self-discovery journey started.
Tell us what has happened since then in terms of your self-discovery and what you're teaching others.
I mean, what I found is that obviously, whatever you accomplish and accumulate, it's not going to be something that it gives you lasting happiness and contentment. Building a business, yes, obviously, because it's something that you're growing like a child, and you watch that, and it's beautiful to do. But anything that I can't remember the things that I've bought over the years. I can't remember the great hotels I've stayed in. It doesn't leave a lasting memory. What leaves lasting memory is the vulnerable conversations I've had with my family, with my friends, the connection I've made with the people around me, and being sort of finding a way to finally express myself. And that's where the writing comes in and played a major role in my life.
Now, you have written, I believe, at least 3 books. The most recent one talks about all of this. Would you tell us about that?
Yes, the recent one is called The Midlife Shift and how I left the rat race and found myself. And it's chronicling the journey that I went through since 2008 when when the two things happened together. And how I responded. I went through a lot of reading, internal revolution. I went to see a lot of famous self-help gurus like Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, and finally I found writing was something that came to me. It was a gift because it was finally a way for me to be able to express my deepest feelings. Some people are very good at talking. They can talk and express themselves, and they can bring out all their thoughts. With me, I found that very late, mid 40s, I was that I had to actually write things down before I could actually think and reflect and analyze and find out so that and I chronicle all that in the book, and the different ups and downs. And everybody thinks that a journey of self-discovery is one where it's like a Hollywood moment where everything is going bad and suddenly you press a button and everything is good. But in reality, life is it's much more messier, and it's like I go through a lot of ups and downs, just that the downs become a bit more sort of acceptable, and the highs become more enjoyable. I think that's the way I see it. So for me, I mean, the biggest message I have in the book and to everybody out there is that the unexamined life is not really worth living, and that's famously said by Greek philosophers. So we need to examine whether the values that we have are really ours, because I'd followed upbringing for my parents and what my father wanted in his life. It turned out to be like I was following that as if it was preset in my head. It wasn't something that necessarily was something I really wanted. And what I really want now is to live a much more sort of simpler life, more mindful life, and a more sort of like a writing life where I can be able to express myself or and share my message and connect to people all over the world.
How has that change in thinking affected you as a business leader? What's it done to your company?
That's a great question because uh, I mean, I'll be honest, at the big foot, one foot was in this business world where you need to be a bit of a warrior, like you need to really be, you need to be strong, you need to make quick decisions. And the other foot was more like artistic, more right brain, I would say, more sort of, I'm more relaxed. But I think when I was in the last 5 or 6 years, when I was able to fuse them together, I feel like I'm a much wiser leader, I'm a much better leader. The team that I have with me, I connect with them, I actually listen to them. It's more democratic, and obviously we're coming up with better ideas and more innovation. So definitely, as a leader, the deeper you dig into yourself, the better you're going to become, right?
Would you tell our listeners and viewers where they can get more information? Do you have a website, perhaps?
Yes, of course. Yes. My website is mo-issa.com. That's mo-issa.com.
And Mo, what would you like to add that I haven't really been bright enough to ask? Could be anything.
I mean, I'd just like to add that my book sort of explains the journey that I went through, and that resonates. I'm not a celebrity, I'm not a billionaire, so that's why it will resonate with a lot of people, because it's stories that we all share, we all have been through.
You've been listening to the Biz News Podcast. We welcome your input. Send your email to editor@bizgnus.com. That's BIZGNUS.com. Thanks for listening.